destiny, the hidden power believed to control what will happen in the future. Many believe in it, and so live by it. Others think it's a myth and believe that any events that go together, like in the past, are just coincidence. This is the story of Ororo Munroe. Welcome to Origin. Surrounded by flames, Ororo thought of the worst. Stuck under the rubble of what used to be her family home, she tried frantically to free herself. After a few minutes, she was able to free herself, and then she started to look for her parents. After hours of looking, she finally found them, but they were both deceased. The only thing she could recover from the rubble was her mother's ancestral ruby. You see, her mother was Nader, a princess of a tribe in Kenya, who came from a long bloodline of ancient African priestesses, all of whom had white hair, blue eyes, and the potential to wield magic. She married an American photojournalist, David Munroe, and they both moved to Harlem. But once Ororo was born, they decided to move to Cairo, Egypt, and at the age of 5, a plane crashed and destroyed their home. This brings us to where we are now, 5-year-old Ororo, left alone and afraid. Now homeless and orphaned, Ororo was found by a gang of street urchins who took her to their master, Ahmed el-Gabar. Ahmed trained Ororo in the arts of thievery, and she soon became his prized pupil, excelling in both pickpocketing and picking locks. During her time in Cairo, Ororo picked the pocket of an American tourist. The man proved no easy mark, however, as he was Charles Xavier, a powerful mutant telepath who used his abilities to stop the thief. But at that moment, Xavier was then attacked by another mutant, and Ororo used the opportunity to escape. Xavier, who acknowledged she was a mutant from her brainwaves, declined to contact Ororo at this point, not wanting to shock the young woman with the true nature of her powers. Itching to prove her skills as a thief, Ororo once stole a rare ruby-colored gem, the so-called Heart of Eternal Darkness, but she did so against Ahmed el-Gabar's direct orders. Only later, it was discovered that the stone contained the essence of an immortal mutant, Kandra. Years later, when she was about 12, she felt a strong urge to wander south and left Cairo. During her travels, she naively accepted a ride from a complete stranger and was attacked. Forced to defend herself, she killed the man, and from that moment on, she swore to never take another human life. Ororo wandered for thousands of miles, almost dying during her trek across the Sahara Desert. But this is when her mutant ability to control the weather finally emerged, and she was able to use it to rescue T'Challa, a prince of an African nation called Wakanda, from his would-be kidnappers. The pair shared a romance and spent much time together. However, T'Challa's duties as a prince prevented them from further exploring their mutual attraction. Finally, Ororo reached her ancestors' homeland of the Kilimanjaro Valley in Kenya. She was taken in by an elderly tribal woman who taught her to be responsible with her powers. Then, she soon came to be the object of worship by the local tribes, who believed her to be a goddess due to her gift. Years later, Ororo found herself in the Savage Land and was forced to do battle with a mutant that could manipulate energy and also control weather. He had sought out revenge against humanity, but with the help of a team of mutant heroes known as the X-Men, he was seemingly destroyed, and Ororo returned to her life among the tribal people. Months later, however, Professor Xavier was left with no choice but to recruit Storm, as he called her, and the other mutants from around the world into the X-Men in order to rescue his original students from the threat of a sentient island being known as Goroka. Professor Xavier explained to Ororo that she was not a goddess, but a mutant, and had a responsibility to use her abilities to help the world, just as she helped the local tribes. Curious, Ororo accepted Professor Xavier's offer and was given the codename Storm. This episode of Origin was written and narrated by me, Cameron Rainey. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode you voted on, and thanks again for voting. As always, go follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Origin_podcast, and on Facebook at facebook.com/originpodcast. Don't forget about our Patreon. Sign up today and get instant access to Patreon-only posts, behind-the-scenes looks, and even a monthly bonus episode. That's patreon.com/originpodcast. I want to give a special thank you to Robert and Jason for all their support. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you guys next Monday.